Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, HOTS fans of every kind and of all ages. Today we're going to be doing a replay cast of the NGS Season 19 Division B East game between Bad Rats and Pepegas on Ice. I'm Elmster, I'll be here for the replay cast, and as we go into these replay casts, there won't be an ordinary draft phase. So we'll go over the draft first. Well, we'll go over maps first, then we'll go into the game, cover the drafts that the teams did, and then introduce our teams and get into the game. Bad Rats on this map are in this series are the home team, and they banned Cursed Hollow and Alterac Pass, so those maps will not be available. And from Pepegas on Ice on the right, they banned Sky Temple and Garden of Terror. So our first map, I don't know which team picked it, but our first map is going to be Brax's Holdout, a strong two-lane map where we see a lot of 4v4 brawls and a lot of 1v1 brawls in the top lane. A little bit less macro. Both sides have two camps, a bruiser and a fireback camp, which is a style of siege camp. And there is a neutral boss in the middle, but it's often very risky since it does a lot of damage, so it's usually only taken when you've killed at least 3 of your opponent's heroes. So, without too much further ado, we will jump into the game, have a quick look at drafts, and then we will watch these two teams battle it out on on Brax's Holdout. So, the blue team, which is Bad Rats, have drafted Zarya, Garrosh, Brightwing, Deathwing, and Cassia. So this looks like a style of Cassia hyper comp. We may see her go autos. We also might see her stack her Qs, her Lightning Fury. Zarya is extremely strong with Garrosh. When she gets the speed up on her shield and he gets Indomitable at 4, he can kind of walk in on anybody, and the speed boost makes it that much more terrifying for him to throw people. Then they get polymorphed by the Brightwing, and at that point, Zarya can do damage. She doesn't even need that much damage. That's Cassia and Garrosh and Brightwing's job to kind of kill whoever gets flipped in there. So they're very good at catching a character and blowing them up. And Deathwing is just a very strong offlaner. He does have the global, able to fly wherever you may have vision on the map. And against the D.Va in the off lane, she's not going to be able to do very much to him. His ability to regenerate health is quite strong, and her different boops and bobs and rather disruptive kit doesn't do anything. Deathwing's immune to the disruption from her kit. On the red side, the Pepegas and Ice team, they've drafted Genji, Muradin, Anduin, D.Va, and Chromie. This is actually an extremely strong group for this map. Anduin can pull people out of that Garrosh, Brightwing, Cassia, Meat Grinder, that death area. Although, of course, his pull is on a much longer cooldown than the Garrosh throw. Genji and Muradin are really strong on this map because they're able to traverse the middle of the map quite easily, so they can kind of go up through here, jump over here, or E through here, and gank the top laner, or the off laner who usually is in the top lane. So this is a very, very strong comp and a good answer. It's just the D.Va doesn't answer very much into a Deathwing. Chromie is probably the best mage in the game right now. Her Qs hit really hard. Her Ws have a good range. She's good at wave clear. She's good at ranged damage. She's good at poke. And she doesn't run out of mana all that quickly like something like a Kelthus would do, or even a Jaina. So Chromie is an incredibly strong character in general, and Genji Muradin is strong. So this is going to come down to who plays their comp better. We've got the kind of pick lockdown death comp from Bad Rats, and then we've got just sort of the general all-around can get stuff done comp. Doesn't really excel at any one thing, but is also not particularly weak at any one thing. So, without further ado, let's get this game started and meet our teams. In the blue corner, representing Terrans, I guess, although both sides are. In the one side, scaring Stepman half to death is Bad Rats. We've got Zarya, played by French, Garrosh being played by Ding Dong, Brightwing being played by Niam, Vinx on the Deathwing, and Jamster as Cassia. On the red side, also playing Terran and scaring Statman half to death, we've got Pepegas on Ice. Tomgin is on Genji, Peas on Muradin, Muidar is played by Anduin, Tikor is on D.Va, and Selfrenia bring in the Chromie. So looking at, we see body check as opposed to, so that's a big slow, and they receive reduced healing. That's quite interesting. Anduin is a healing factory, so reducing healing is an interesting choice. Usually we see the throw here. But there's already the flip and the grab onto the Genji. He's forced out. French has got full energy already, and he has actually gone for Demolitions Expert, so looking to get the damage and more hits on his Q. We see the Hyper Shift, we see the Molten Blood, so not the protection for Deathwing, he loses a plate, but as long as he has 3 more R plates or is more than 75% life, he gets Healing Regeneration, which helps keep him topped up. And we see the Q stacking, so the Thunderstroke Lightning Fury build from Jamster, which is going to hit harder and harder and harder as the game goes. Although it's not particularly strong into Murden specifically because he can just back off and third wind it, which he did take. We have the Agile Dismount from Genji, which is pretty much the only talent we do see taken by him. We've got the Light Well as opposed to the Even-Handed Blessing, or the Power Word Shield from Anduin. We have the Liquid Cooling, which is basically D.Va can tap whenever she wants if she's in her mech, and it has a much lower cooldown. Its cooldown was reduced to 50 seconds, which is actually tremendous. This gives her insane sustain. And we have the Vision from Chromie, so Time Walker's Pursuit. Also gain 15% spell power and reduce the armor time of time traps. So this is an incredibly, incredibly strong talent. It gives her spell power, it makes her time traps better, and it gives her vision. It's just incredible. She does lose out on stacking either her Qs or her W, but that's not necessarily a necessity on her, especially when she has another damage dealer in the Genji. Her job at this point is to set up kills with poke damage, and Genji's job to jump on the backline and blow them up. So, this was originally in the hands of Bad Rats. Genji tries to grab it, but he does get polymorphed. He does use the protect and manages to come out alive. Ding Dong putting pressure on Peas here as French is in the front line, hitting them with his full energy. Auto attacks and Qs. What are they, Photon Blasts? Particle Grenades, my bad. So, they are fully pushed off here, but on the flip side, Vinx is taken to very low health and is going to be forced to fly into the air. But that means he's going to have to give up complete pressure in this lane. He has no lane pressure when he's flying around getting health back. In the bot lane, we do see level 4s come in for the members of Pepegas on Ice. Peas and Tomgun attempting to distract Ding Dong. Now, there is a lot of damage from the Fend of Jamster, but he's getting quite low in mana, and so it looks like the members of Bad Rats are going to have to back off this point. But no, they're not fully convinced that this is what they want to do, so they push back in that good healing and that sustained healing from Brightwing. Not huge heals, but consistent. Jams are caught in a time trap. Oh, and the Qs just miss. The Sandblasts do not hit the Cassia. So Peas, third wind, healing him back up to full, but the phase shift from Brightwing does the same for the Garrosh. They're looking to throw Peas here, and they do. He's taking a lot of damage. He's been polymorphed, but pulled out and jumps. He stays alive, but now the pull is down on Muidar's Anduin. Genji had gone top to pressure on Vinx, and once again he's pushed back, and his gate has taken damage. Now Genji rotating back down, trying to take this beacon again, but Ding Dong no on him. He's got the speed. He knocks Genji up, but does not follow up with a throw. Hey, Hoku. To support Div C. This is Div E. This is Div C. I have the wrong... I didn't change that in the overlay. This is Div C, though. Hoku's 100% right. So, they're chasing down. Peas gets extremely low, down to 390-odd health. But again, third wind kicks in and he is healing quickly. Oh, but he takes the particle grenade from French and goes down to just over 100 hit points. Genji is top, and again, Vinx has had to fly to recover health on this Deathwing. So we're seeing Tomgun again being a distraction, but not able to stay on that point for any length of time. Vinx is now capturing this and is going to duel T-Core, but Tomgun comes back, and once again, Vinx is forced to... Deathwing is forced to fly away from 2 Overwatch heroes. Overwatch heroes are so overpowered, they're pushing a raid boss from WoW out of his lane. Now, how OP is that? French takes a good chunk, and thrown in again is Peas. He gets polymorph, but he manages to jump before the polymorph comes through. Again, Jams are so low on mana, but thankfully the Fen takes a chunk, and the Blind takes a chunk, but the Thunderstroke, or the... Yeah, the Thunderstroke. No. The Lightning Fury does not take that much mana to cast. Now both beacons are captured by Bad Rats, but Genji is coming up again to duel with Vinx. He jumps out there. T-Core is body blocking, so he's going to use Cataclysm to get out there, but it is a 3v4 in the bottom, and they're jumping onto Peas again. The Polymorph, he once again gets a great jump just in time to prevent himself from being blown up. And Vinx has played very well. He hasn't yet given Genji an opportunity to kill him, just to pressure him off the point, but then when Tomkin comes back, this positioning is always priority to the blue team. So we see Peas taking chunks here. And here comes the phase shift onto Ding Dong. That's a great name for a tank. What a Ding Dong. Anyway. So, Tomkin still trying to... at this point, before he fully stacks his Shuriken, he's more annoying than dangerous. Once he fully stacks that and gets Shingon at 13, he's actually going to be quite bursty. If he can hit you 3 times with Shingon Shuriken and then reload by doing a flip and then hit you 3 more times, that can kill a squishy. So it's all about letting him scale a little bit. Now he's hitting Vinx, taking Vinx down to half health, as T-Core is actually going to fully back here. Vinx more concerned with pushing up. Tomkin's very low. If he's not careful, he could die to the dragon. In the bot lane, they're pushing this fort. But both beacons will be captured by Bad Rats, and they're once going to be racking up percentage here. Vinx has gone up into the air, so Pepegas on Ice will come to recapture this point. So their progress stops at 78% for the moment, but it's 78-0. Now, even if you get 0%, you will get an 18% wave, I believe, at the least. There's the flip on Chromie, and this time, she does not have a damage. She's taking a lot of damage. Out comes the slowing sand to keep her alive, and instead, Tomkin dies in the back. So they split damage at first, but then they do focus on the Genji in the backline, and he is killed, which gives them a numbers advantage for the next little while. Now, because Vinx has continually had to leave lane, there still is an experience disadvantage slightly towards the team of Bad Rats. They are disadvantaged. French taking those tower shots, but that just gives her full energy. Zarya, that is. I don't know if French is a male or female player, but... And once again, Peas posturing towards the bottom beacon, but he's not able to make it on there, and Genji is back, looking to pressure Ding Dong. We see the slowing sands come out, but Janster actually jumps immediately on Safreni, but he's taking a lot of damage. He's actually in a bad spot, and the phase shift does not come out. That is the death to Janster. Peas jumps onto the point, but French isn't ready to give this up yet, and neither is Ding Dong. The slowing sands leaves. Safreni is very low on mana at the moment. And even with the kill, even with the hyper carry kill, they're not able to pressure Garrosh off this point. Peas is slowed by that Groundbreaker. Out comes the slowing sands again, and this time it's splitting French and Ding Dong from each other. There's the stun onto Ding Dong, but Vinx is coming in as well. There's the taunt. It gets 2. There's a polymorph, and Tomkin is caught in the back. The light bomb does come out and does stun Zarya. The members of Pepegas are so low right now. And while this is happening, D.Va's attacking the top lane. Unstopped. They're trying to get Genji, but he manages to E out while blinded. So once again, this bottom beacon has not changed hands fully since it was first taken. Now, Genji attempting to be annoying to Vinx while rotating. Guess what? It's working. Genji is always annoying. D.Va's continue to go piddly, 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 and tickle this fort. It needed a back massage, so thank you, D.Va. And, now, there it is. The grab was now a good stasis there. Instead, they throw Peas, who jumps out. Tomkin's in the back again. He does have to use his charge to get out of there. Fully stacked are the Shuriken. Also fully stacked are the particle grenades. There's a taunt on Genji, and he's going to go down to a good fin from Jamster. There is the polymorph on Peas. He has to leap out, and this fort will go down even without a Zerg wave. And the Zerg wave is in the bottom, so it's going to push straight to keep wall at this point, as it's at 100%. Vinx take it, and he's only going to have to defend about 4 Zerglings and an Ultralisk, whereas this is huge. And it's going to be on the members of Pepegas on Ice to defend their keep wall and their keep from this gigantic Zerg wave. Now again, they've managed to keep even on experience. They're not far behind. They don't have much lower statistics. And that's a clever use of the D.Va machine. Blows up a lot of the weak creatures in that Zerg wave. Takes it down to about, I think that was about 85%. And they are blowing up the different members. But Tigor gets flipped in and now gets caught in the expulsions, or no, exclusion. Graviton Surge, pardon me. But the blue team is looking like he's going to try and go. No, Vinx does come in though. We got a lot of damage on the P's. The slowing sand comes out. Muidar manages to lock Garrosh down to not chase him. Slowing sand still here, and the pew pew from Tigor is going to get him his mech back here right away. But these Guardians are the only members left of this Zerg wave. There's a flip in from Tomgin, and he's going to use the X strike. He's taking a lot of damage. He was polymorphed, and there's the fire breath from Vinx. Does a lot. French is walking in with full energy, and the lava circle. Lava burst. Sorry, the lava burst does kill Genji there. There's no one on the top lane, but they do get Cassia. She's blown up, and the D.Va mech goes down. She does get knocked up by Groundbreaker, but there's not much left they can do here, and if they stay, they might lose Vinx. So they back away after doing, I don't know, 5-10% to this keep. So a good push, but also a really good defense. They lose their gate in a tiny bit, but they manage to keep their keep predominantly healthy, and they could even trade the fort in the top if they get aggressive with it later. So, certainly not out of this one yet. Looking at 10s, we've got X-Strike Avatar, Light Bomb, Micro Missiles, so not the Bunny Hop from this D.Va. Now, granted, the missiles will give her more push against Vinx. It will not help her in team fights very much. It's not that much damage. We've already seen the slowing sands. T-Core does get knocked out of her machine. She does get stunned. Ding Dong looking for the... Oh, he tried to taunt, but it misses. So that's a 50-second cooldown down. Now, Tomlin's jumping onto Vinx. They're looking to kill the dragon here. Out comes the light bomb, and the damage onto Vinx is enough. He goes down anyway, as all 5 are here looking to push this. There is a fireback camp pushing in the bottom right now, which will go up against Keep. But it's a 5v4 in the top lane with Deathwing dead. On the side, we've got Graviton Surge, Taunt, Blink Heal, Bellowing Roar for the Fear, and Ball Lightning. So they want to get their opponents grouped up. Tom gets thrown there by Ding Dong, and the missiles do come out from T-Core. The Slowing Sands is in, but right now, nobody's taking a lot of damage. Tomgen actually goes quite low there. And the 5, again, as they've been doing all game, the 4-man here, even when they're outnumbered, doing a really good job forcing their opponents back, even when they're outnumbered. And D.Va has to come answer this fire bat. It's pushing this fort so hard that it's down to half health. So now it is a 4-on-4, and in comes Vinx, jumps down on their opponents. Tomgen looking to find the flank, but isn't sure he wants it. So, beacons have respawned. It is collected by the members of Bad Rats at Tomgen, knowing he can escape, is going to attempt to capture it back. Ding Dong running towards him. Does have the pixie dust. Here comes the fend. That's a great taunt. Tomgen's taking a ton of damage. He gets thrown in. Now he's polymorphed. He's dead. Muidar is stuck in the Graviton Surge and is taking a lot of damage as well. He puts the light bomb on himself, trying to save himself, but he's taking a lot of damage there, and then an auto from Cassia kills him. Out comes the mech of D.Va. It blows up, but it is not able to kill anyone. Bottom is collected by Vinx, but he immediately comes top again as they siege up against this keep. There's 2 members down for Pepegas on ice right now, so they're going to have to use the 3 remaining ones they have to clear the siege. And anyone who can really do a lot of work here is Sophrenia's Chromie. And they're just going to have to let these beacons go up. There's a flip-in on T-Core. Doesn't have the ability to explode, and so has to try and get out here. Is Polymorph, but the slowing sands is going to give T-Core a chance to survive. She does survive, but now this top lane with no gate and already damage on this fort is prepped for this big Zerg wave to come in again. And T-Core does not have mech, so D.Va can't just throw her mech and watch the Banelings explode and watch the Zerglings die. And again, 1 Ultralisk, about 6 Zerglings, and a Hydralisk here. So Ding Dong walking in, trying to see if there's someone he can help. He's going to walk in really deep. He throws Peas, so Peas manages to jump back out after being polymorphed. Here comes a Light Bomb. It does stun Ding Dong on that Garrosh, and here comes the Extract. Ding Dong's taking a lot of damage. He does so at the top, but he gets healed by Neem's Face. And now there's two in the Graviton Surge. They're right in Fend range. T-Core does put the damage reduction aura out, and that prevents Muidar from being killed. But the Zerg Wave is doing tremendous damage. This keep is going to go down. And they're jumping on the remaining members, so Fernia does use her time out to stay alive, and T-Core gets pulled, but then charges right back in. And it's still a 5v4 for 15 more seconds as Tomkin on Genji is dead. They're attacking the core hard now. Piers takes a bunch of damage. He's feared. Oh, he got hit. He got polymorphed and then feared, which made him completely unable to leap away and was also eliminated, this time by the Zarya. Vinx is going to Cataclysm across to get that dot damage going. Ding Dong throws the exploding mech away, and they are going to blow up the core. That is game 1 to Bad Rats. GG! So we'll do a quick in-game summary, although I know this isn't perfectly centered in the overlay for this. We see Cassia has the stats of the hyper carry, but the kills are 9-3. Bad Rats mainly had control of that, and it's interesting that the Zarya, Garrosh, Brightwing control. I feel like you could have had almost any character here who can output decent damage. You could have had Raynor there. You could have any number of characters because these three had so much control. If Peas came in, he would get polymorphed and take a bunch of damage and would have to leave. None of the people, even with their escapes on Murd and Genji and the Anduin pull, could stay in long enough to have the impact they wanted to have. And I have to assume in the next game, they won't be allowed to have this core of the Zarya, Garrosh, Brightwing, because it was very, very strong. And I think kind of an honorable mention goes to Vinx's Deathwing. Strong in the offlane, although he got ganked over and over and over by Tomkin's Genji, he never went down. He managed to play it safe, suck up his health, and even though his gate took damage, it wasn't enough to ever really turn the game against him or let them force down his fort until he had already gotten hit by a Zerg wave. So really well played by Bad Rats here, and it's up to Pepegas on ice in game number 2 to try to take this series back. So for game number 2, we are going to be going to Battlefield of Eternity. So map 1 was won by Bad Rats, and we're going to BOE. So 1 2-lane map to another. Speedable Garrosh is terrifying. Yeah, especially when he can unstoppable himself. I don't need a healer with cleanse. Very, very strong. So Battlefield of Eternity, how it differs from this map is there are no bosses on Battlefield of Eternity. The Punishers are considered the bosses on this map. And the objective differs pretty greatly in that you don't capture it just by spending time with it. You capture it by fighting it while they fight each other. So but it also does, at the end of the day, it is a siege mechanic. The Punisher will push against your opponent's waves and buildings, and you have to try and stay alive. So we will see whether Bad Rats on the Forces of Light aligned with Ilarion the Angel, or if Pepegas on ice on the right side aligned with Belith the Devil or Demon. Which one is going to come out on top of this game? Let's get into the game. Hey, Jamster, let's get into this game and have a look at who's going to win game number 2 between Bad Rats and Pepegas on ice. So, again, we're going to have a quick look at the drafts before we go too crazy. So we've got Li Ming, Tyrande, Deathwing, Varian, and Sylvanas on Bad Rat's side. So this is a team that has good, not fantastic race. It's good. It is quite good. It is not the best it could be, but it's up there. Especially if you go more of an auto attack Deathwing. Tyrande can really help by giving her team an attack steroid. Li Ming is always really good. She can force your opposing team, if they're defending, to choose between bodying those hits or letting it hit their immortal. And Sylvanas is a moderately good racer, and she's very good if you do win the Punisher. She can shut off the opponent's buildings, and then the only damage that'll stick to it will actually come from the enemy heroes, and they need to be careful not to get caught in Punisher stuns or Punisher knockback. So I would say if the Tyrande can be played well, not everyone can play a Tyrande well, but I have confidence in Nia. If they play this comp well, especially with the variant taunt, they have the ability to blow people up. And if they go variant taunt into Tyrande stun into Sylvanas mind control, anyone on the enemy team can be killed in that combo. It doesn't matter if it's Garrosh. Anyone getting caught into taunt, stun, mind control will die. On the enemy side, we have for Pepegas on ice, we've got Raynor, Brightwing, Garrosh, Artanis, Kael'thas. Now, we saw last game that Garrosh Brightwing forms a very strong core on its own. Garrosh flip into the polymorph really makes it hard for opposing players or opposing characters to get out safely before they're killed. Kael'thas has follow-up CC on that as well with his E talent, which is a wind that I forget the name of because I don't play him often enough. And Raynor is just very reliable damage. He's great at race. He's good at outputting damage on enemy heroes. He has the reliable damage. Kael'thas has the burst. Artanis is excellent on this map. So yes, Hoku, we did get an Artanis. Good at race, can use blinds from across the map, which can be incredibly helpful both when trying to stop the race of the enemy team or when trying to push while his team is team fighting. So Artanis finds a ton of value on this map, especially with the level 1 ability. Both he and Raynor can actually take level 1 abilities that let them do more damage to the Immortals. So we've got Amateur Opponent for Artanis, and I think the one for Raynor is called Exterminator. But that is what we have. Let's get this game going, introduce to these teams, and see who can win game number 2 between Bad Rats on the left and Pepegas on ice on the right. So, in blue, working with Alarian the Angel, trying to defend the high heavens, is Bad Rats. We've got French on Li Ming, Neum on Tyrande, Vinx playing Deathwing, Ding Dong on Varian, and Jamster playing the Sylvanas. And on the right side, trying to defend the Burning Hells, and helping Belith, the demon, immortal. We've got Tomgan on Raynor, Muidar on Brightwing, Peas on Garrosh, Tikor on Artanis, and Sylphrenia playing the Kael'thas. Looking quickly at the level 1 here, we don't have Aether Walker, we have Force Armor, so Magic Missiles giving spell protection, which will help against the Living Bomb from Kael'thas. Got Lunar Blaze stacking from Tyrande. Again, same Molten Blood for Deathwing as last game. Lion's Maw, which is standard on Tank Varian. And the Q build from the Banshee Queen. Exterminator and Amateur Opponent are indeed taken by these members. He is looking for an easy throw. Walks up to Jamster. Does throw Neum in. Is Neum going to be able to get out in time? Oh, sorry. Not Brightwing. Tyrande. She takes so much damage out of 48 health. But she lives. Now here comes the orb. French trying to find ways to blow up, but the Living Bomb goes down on French. CC'd there by the E and killed by Sylphrenia. In a battle of mages, that one goes strongly to Sylphrenia. And then they grab and throw Jamster as well as he's blown away. And again, this Garrosh Brightwing, which was shown so powerfully by Bad Rats last game, is showing up powerfully for Pepegas on ice this game. We also have the Hyper Shift from Brightwing. War Breaker as opposed to the body check that we saw last game, or the Unrivaled Strength we sometimes see. There's the flip onto Ding Dong, and remember, Varian is basically a melee minion prior to level 4. He's taking a lot of damage. The stun from Neum hits nobody, but it does force the team to split a bit, which lets Tyrande get her heals out. And if there's anything you can do to slow down Tyrande's auto attacks, her healing also goes down. Her healing is based on how many auto attacks she can get out as it reduces her cooldowns. So Ding Dong has to try and not spread this Living Bomb. And we see Mana Addict for Kael'thas, which is really the only good talent. People pick Convection as a meme, but the reward for Convection is literally worse than the reward for Mana Addict. Like, why would you not want to get more maximum mana and a shield once it's stacked? It's just silly to take Convection. Even if you know you'll get all 20, the reward isn't worth it. Alright, Ding Dong gets another Living Bomb. Peas attempts to flip, but I believe that perhaps Jamster became unstoppable because Peas did not get the flip. Raynor does go top to take that, and once again, Vinx is facing a 1v2, but he showed last game he's capable of doing so. Garrosh looking to see if the bottom camp... Well, no, they can't. It's not even up. I do not know what Peas is doing here. He doesn't really seem to be finding much value. So Sylphrenia and Muidar will take their camp, while Jamster and Neum do the same on their side. And we're going to see Immortal spawning in about 25 seconds. Artanis is pushing on Vinx. Deathwing doesn't have the greatest matchup into Artanis because Artanis can kind of dance around, hit the sides of the dragon, not step in the stun and the lava burst, but as long as you play smart and play safe, Deathwing can handle it. So both teams will have their bruiser camps going, and the Immortals are spawning in 4 seconds, but the entire team of Pepegas on Ice gets seen by Niam's Owl. Excellently done. So they're going to go directly for Race, and Ding Dong is going to come in, and he does have taunt. He gets thrown back out, and this halftime show's already almost started. There is the taunt on a Tikor, the follow-up stun, and there's a follow-up stun from Vinx. The lava burst and the molten breath doing so much damage. So Fernia is dead. Tikor is also extremely low, gets hit by the Lion's Fang, blown away, and there's the resets for French. Garrosh is also blown up, so they almost get to the halftime show, but instead lose 3 heroes to nothing, and are forced to back away for now and handle this bruiser camp in the bot lane as Jamster answers the top in the top lane. So Ding Dong and Niam are defending their Immortal at the moment, while the enemy team is starting to respawn and come back. French is racing in the top lane, and so they do this time. Or no, it seems like someone on the red team managed to get a hit, and so it's going to be difficult to catch up on the race. Niam does get thrown in, and here comes the E from the Kael'thas. Piece is getting incredibly low, but the Brightwing Fascia does so much work. There's the taunt on Garrosh. He goes down, and Tompkin has 5 health points, 5 hit points. He does get blown up by French, as there's another 2 for O from Bad Rats. They're doing an incredible job here. They're not winning the race, but they are winning the fights. The kills are 5-2 to the advantage of Bad Rats, but they have to defend this. The enemy team can race very effectively, so Frenia can just throw flame strikes from 8 miles out. Artanis putting pressure on Vinx, as Sylvanas is now using her ability to race the Immortal. So it is a 4-person defense over here for Ilarion. His bodyguards have showed up to defend the high heavens, but again, cooldowns are real. There's the taunt onto Artanis. He does get the phase shift, and now a lot of damage going to Ding Dong, but a lot onto Tikor as well. Vinx takes a fair amount of damage, down to half, as Niam also gets pushed back. There comes the Flame Strike. Ding Dong and Niam at so low health, and so this time the race will just barely be won by Belith the Demon. He knocks Ilarion flat into the ground, scooshes him like the angel pancake he is, and the teams will go back to a 4-man offlane rotation. So, here comes Belith, the Immortal, as he comes towards the gates of heaven. Not much of a shield on him. That race was very close. The Living Bomb is spread onto French and onto Ding Dong. French able to poke fairly easily with the orbs and the magic missiles. Or do they have a different word for them? No, it's magic missiles. So Belith will go down fairly quickly here, even with the Living Bomb on Ding Dong, but that is about 60%. They're looking to follow up here, though. We have not seen the end of him. No, we have not. So both teams resetting. Again, both teams fairly even in experience at this point. Again, the kills well on the side. There's the taunt onto Garrosh. There's the stun. There's the combo from French. An excellent follow-up, and immediately blows Garrosh away. And now they're going to take this bottom camp. Tomgin looking, but if he's not careful, he can get taunted as well. So they're going to have to give over the siege camp in the bot lane. In the meantime, Tikor is trading with Vinx. And again, Artanis does have the ability to trade fairly effectively with a Deathwing, as long as they're smart about it. You have to be careful not to get hit by siege. But again, he doesn't want to dive here. He's going to take a ton of damage. Tomgin comes in to do what they did last time, take this top camp, while Sylvan and Niam are in the bot lane. But this time, they're rotating up, and they blow up the Kael'thas. Ding Dong and French. The French Ding Dong connection managed to kill the Kael'thas, huh? So we see Disintegrate on Li Ming. We see Shield Wall, Bellowing Roar. We see Shadow Stalk. So not Starfall, which we've seen previously in NGS Tyrandas. This time it will be the Invisibility for team. Here comes the taunt on a Brightwing, and the Peas throws the Fruit Fly away. He gives her the old Fly Swatter and saves her life. We have the Wailing Arrow here from Sylvanas, but now 10s are coming in for the members of Pepegas on Ice as well, as they clear away this siege camp. We've got Hyperion, Blink Heal, Suppression Pulse, and Phoenix. We've yet to see Garrosh, and honestly, it could be either. The taunt is very strong in Garrosh, but Decimate is strong, and especially at 20, if you think the game will go that long. But it is going to be the taunt, the AoE taunt. So now both tanks have the ability to lock down their opponents. The Siege Camp is going to the top. Vinx is going to defend that, but he's at about half health, so he's going to want to take to the air before he shows up in a fight. The taunt does go down on Garrosh, and blown away again. That armor of his means nothing when he takes so much damage so quickly. The Phoenix comes out, but its lifespan is very short. And while it gets a bit of damage on Ilarion, they're still down one tank, and that is a massive part of their composition. They're going to lock down the Raynor now. He also gets stuck in the Ilarion stun and blown away. French's combos on this Li Ming have been absolutely devastating. So Sylvanas is solo racing in, not the fastest race in the world, but who needs to be fast if you can just kill anybody who shows up on Ilarion's doorstep? So Frenia gets taunted, is getting blown away. There's the attempted heal by Muidar, so close but not quite. And then Garrosh does taunt French, but it's not enough. So Artanis is going to see if he can take the top keep, just push away while this is going. The halftime show is up as Bad Rats attempt to steal this Bruiser camp. Tom and Peas are going to see if there's something they can do about this, but they have to give it up. Muidar looking to see if he can help push down this top fort, because he can come into a fight at any time with phase shift. Blue team once again looking to defend their keep here. They're going to try and kill Muidar, but he gets away, at least for now. Sylvanas continues to race, but it looks like the members of Pepegas and Ice are at least going to try and take the shield by taking Ilarion out. There is a taunt and a grab onto Tikor. He's trying to get away, and he's thrown out by Peas, and his life is saved as Muidar comes onto Peas to save him also. The Blink Heal goes on a Tikor, but this immortal fight is over. And this time Ilarion gets a Demon Pancake by smashing Belithan to the ground. It's going to go into the top lane. There's the taunt, and the Artanis is blown away. It's like these guys have done this before. The variant taunt into the Tyrande stun, into French's attack, or into French's combo, is death. Anyone who gets caught in that just dies. Now, they do lose their fort to minions as this happens, and the Hyperion is sent out to put some free damage onto Ilarion as the Phoenix is sent out as well. So both ults from the damage dealers are down. Vinx is pushing the bot lane, so Artanis is sent back to hell. The Unstoppable is popped, so Cleanse from Muidar does help Peas survive that. But it's down now, and the Dark Arrows, or the Black Arrows, are on this fort. It's taking a lot of damage, but Ilarion is down to about a third of his health as well. Fort goes down. Vinx is in a fight with Tikor, but neither one of them are doing the kind of damage that makes you worry. Ilarion's taking a lot of damage here now from Tomgan as he blows away the Angel, who is sent back to his immortal purgatory as he waits to fight the demon again. Blue team looks like they're trying to set up a Chinese party bush, trying to find a bad rotation here. But instead, they're all rotating toward Vinx. They want to kill the raid boss. He's trying to get up in the air. He's taking some damage, but he cannot be CC'd, and therefore, he is still alive. They are going to rotate down to this camp. Each camp will take one of the neutral siege camps. And here comes the owl. Oh, I see you. I think it hit Artanis, poor guy. He lives in space just to get hit by a bird. That's a rough life. It's a hard knock life for art. No one picks or bans this fart. Okay, I'm done. So they're going to try to defend to some degree, but they come from behind and they're looking for a lockdown. The Unstoppable does go on to Peas. The wall there. The taunt only, the AoE taunt only goes on a Ding Dong, and now he taunts the Raynor. Vinx comes in with the Cataclysm, is trying to get stuns and damage in. It looks like they're just going to get away, but Peas now is caught between a rock and a hard place with that Fire Breath. He does go down again. Ding Dong looking to see if he can dash in and get one more taunt as it comes up Tuesday. Muidar Tommy takes so much damage, they're blown away again. French's Disintegrate this time blows away, and the Black Arrows are coming out again, as this keep cannot defend itself from this Sylvanas. Bad Rat's draft is doing an incredible job. They don't even need minions to blow apart this fort, as they win another 2-0. And this is starting to look rough for the members of Pepegas on ice. They had a very even game, but ever since the second Immortal, they've really struggled to keep things even. This combo of Varian to Ronda Li Ming has been absolutely just annihilation for them. It hasn't been close. One of their teammates just dies as soon as they get seen by Varian. They were trying to rotate to get some damage onto Ilarion, but it wasn't quite working. And now it looks like the teams will try to fight. There is the Unstoppable on Peas. He pops the Indomitable from his level 4. The Phoenix comes out, so the blue team will back off a little bit here. Wait for it to time out, which it does now. Hyperion not back off of cooldown for another 20 seconds. But Taunt and Suppression Pulse still are up. Jamster is once again fighting, and the halftime show is already over. And once again, it looks like this Immortal will be popping up into the top lane. Belith will go down, and Ilarion will fight, unless a fight can be won in the next 6 or 7 seconds here. There's the taunt, the stun, the blow up. It's instant. It's instant. Moon takes a bunch of damage, and Vinx jumps over the wall to jump on the Fruit Fly, but instead Raynor blown to bits as French is going ham. He's like a hogger sandwich. He's nothing but ham. There goes Artanis. The cooldowns are back up, and French is going to try and kill Kayle Dotz here. Trying to size up, but the slow from Disintegrate blows him away as well. It is a 4 for nothing, and all those kills are showing up after Li Ming's picture. As the Immortal does go to Bad Rats. They're looking to take both bruiser camps while they're at it. Why not make life more difficult? Why not just take everything? You're going to kill 4 people with a Li Ming? I guess you deserve everything. This is going to be a do-or-die defense for the members of Pepegas on ice, and they haven't hit 16 yet. They will be desperate to soak a little bit here, but they can't afford to send anyone away to do so. Artanis coming into the fight. Kayle Dotz will be up in 2, and he does have Phoenix. The Hyperion is going to come out. They need as much softening on Ilarion as possible. He's almost a full shield. Ding Dong does get thrown in, but he manages to throw up the wall to protect himself. He's getting extremely low. Phoenix comes out as well. The Fire Breath from Vinx, and again, the Black Arrows turn off the keep. They're not getting any help from that. The damage from Sylvanas manages to kill, but Deathwing is the one who finally finishes him off. Ding Dong is still very low and takes a living bomb, so he has to be careful. But they're trying to find a way to fight this, but their core is at 75%. And another blow-up, another stun and blow-up on the Garrosh. Cataclysm comes across. It's at 20%. It's at 10%. It's at 0! As 2 incredible team comps played amazingly well by the Bad Rats. And I can't even say that it's the sort of thing where I think that Pepegas and I should have done something different or done something better. It feels like both games, Bad Rats came in with a plan. They had a draft they wanted, they had a plan, and they executed on that plan. The first game, they wanted the Garrosh, Zarya, Brightwing core to empower their carry of choice, which was Cassia in that game, and Vinx held his own on Deathwing. In Game 2, they chose a different core for this map, for the Battlefield of Eternity, to defend the High Heavens, and that was Varian Taunt into Tyrandistan, into French, blowing the hell out of whoever bothered to look in his direction. And he doesn't have way higher health than or damage than Sylphrenia in this game. It's just that it came at the perfect times. He held onto his spells until that combo came up and blew them away. They always had the outnumbered situation. And once again, Vinx just stayed safe on that Deathwing. Played smart, kept the enemy team guessing about where he was going to be, where he was going to show up, and just some incredible play from Bad Rats to take this in a domination 2-0 in the Season 19 matchup between Bad Rats and Pepegas on ice. So, that is our game. It was a 2-0 for Bad Rats. Well played, both teams. That was Game 1 was more exciting. Game 2 definitely felt like there was a lot of control, but it also felt like it could have turned around at any time. But I do feel like as the control started rolling towards Bad Rats in Game 2, you could feel the desperation coming from Pepegas on ice, and desperate teams try to force plays. They make mistakes, and unfortunately for Pepegas on ice, their attempts to make plays did end up with the incredibly steady play of Bad Rats defeating them this time. Thank you for joining me. I've been Omster, and this will be on Twitch for 7 days and on YouTube indefinitely. If you enjoyed it, please leave a follow. We're about 6 followers away from 50, which gives us an opportunity to try and affiliate with Twitch. And otherwise, thank you so much for being here. I've been Omster. Thank you to the teams for being incredibly entertaining. Support Div C. I accidentally have B East left on my header because I have done 4 casts now today and my brain has gone mushy. But this is Div C. We did get to see Artanis. We got to see 2 Deathwing games, and it's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. Have a great night, and go enjoy yourself some HOTS.